What's cracking, everybody? It's your girl, Nicole Banister, aka Nikki Banz, and you are back for this week's episode of Nikki Banz Live. You know I had to start this show off with the DJ horn because we got a DJ on the show tonight. As you can tell, the energy is all the way live, and I am going to be all the way lit this whole entire conversation. I can already tell because this guest is going to bring the heat, bring the fire, bring the energy. We got Cape Town's finest in the building, the one and only Kyeezi. Woo-hoo-hoo! I am so excited for this guest tonight, everybody. This is gonna be such a dynamic conversation. You have heard him on the radio. You have seen him on your TV screens. You see him DJing at all of your favorite clubs around the city. It's Kyeezi, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much to those of you who are tuning in live right now on Instagram onto the live stream. I see all my peoples tuning in. I see my mom and dad are in the building. Hey, fam bam, whoop whoop. Always a pleasure having you here. So, Nikki Banz Live is your favorite interview series happening every single Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central African Time, 2 p.m. on the East Coast of the U.S., 11 a.m. on the West Coast, best coast of the United States. And I am bringing you exclusive one-on-one interviews and conversations with your favorite actors, entertainers, rappers, DJs, artists, activists from all over the world. Every single week, I'm bringing you a brand new episode with a brand new guest from a brand new country. So come with me every single Tuesday here on Nikki Banz Live as we chop it up with amazing people all over the world. It is such a treat for me to have you all here. If you're here on the live, welcome. If you're watching the rerun on YouTube, welcome. I'm happy to have all of you here. I am your hostess with the mostest, Nicole Banister, aka Nikki Banz, and you are tuning in to Nikki Banz Live. All right, party people, without any further ado, I know our guest is here in the building, the one and only Kyeezi. I don't want to waste any more time because I already know we're going to be chit-chatting about all the things, all his different gigs, all the different spans of entertainment that he does, whether it's YouTube, TV, radio, DJ, just everything. It's going to be awesome. All right, I'm going to get a little drum roll going. You know, I like my sound effects. So I'm gonna get a little drum roll going and I'm gonna bring Kyeezi on right now. Stay with me. Here we go.
Yo.
Hey!
Yo.
What's up, boo?
Yo, man, listen. That intro is different. That's different. That's different. Like, that's different. I was chilling and I'm like, yo, she doesn't know, like after 6, I'm just so chilled and I'm like, yo, but she just woke me up. Like, she just brought me back. I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's go. You know. How you living, homie? How you living, yo?
I am so good. But you know, I had to bring energy because anytime I see you out on the streets, anytime I hear you on the radio, I know it's live. So I had to come correct for this interview.
Yo, I feel like, I'm like, yo, snap. Okay, hold up. Hey, bro. I even went to go look for, like, when I get home and I take my rings off, that's when I switch off. And I even thought about, yo, let me go put my rings back on and let me just get ready because clearly, Nikki's coming through with the fire. You dig.
Hey, you know what, man? It is my honor. It is my pleasure to have you here on Nikki Banz Live. So, yes, I'm ready to come all the way correct so we can talk about all the things. I'm so excited to have you here. How you doing, homie?
Yo, I'm great, homie. Like, I'm blessed. I'm working. Like, yo, bro, I'm working, bro. Like, you know, like I'm working, you know. I'm really blessed to just wake up every day and just like, yo, I'm out here. I got to do what I got to do. Yeah, man. Like, you know, I get phone calls and people will be like, "Yo, how you doing?" And I'm like, "Yo, I'm great. Like, I'm really great." Like, you get tough days, but when I mean like I'm great, like I really mean it from like yo, I'm out here and I'm doing what I can and what I have to, but I'm so lucky that I'm doing everything that I want to in the same breath. So like when I say I'm great, I really mean it. Like I'm doing really great. I'm really great, bro. How you doing?
I love that. I love that. I'm doing fantastic. I mean, launching this live show for me has basically been a dream come true. So to talk to all my favorite influencers and entertainers around the world who just bring the heat, you know, every single
Yeah.
week is just, you know, I'm living the dream. I'm gonna steal your hashtag on Instagram. Your hashtag be great. I'm gonna start using that.
Yo, run it, run it. Yo, run it, run it, run it, run it, run it, run
I
it.
love it.
You
I
know,
love
like
it.
it's so dope to see you doing this because I would always check out your stories and I always used to think, yo, man, Nikki's hella funny though, and she's hella energetic, and you know, it takes us like I believe it takes a special type of person to be themselves with everybody. You know, it takes a really special type of person for you to be so comfortable in your own skin that you can put it out there to the world, and whether you like it or not, it's none of your business, but you're happy with who you are. You feel me? So like
Yes.
I always say like energies really gravitate to each other. Positive energies gravitate to each other. So for me, like I've been knowing you for years, you know. Like nobody must come on this live and like, yo, I know Nikki. Like we've been knowing like Nikki, you know, I know her from the club, I know her from the vibes. And in the years that I've seen you, even if our interactions are very short, it's always like, yo, no, that's good people, man. Yo, no, it's Nikki. Yo, no, it's good people. It's good people. It's good people. Let her in. Let her in. Now, I don't
Yes.
know them. I don't know them, but I know her. So if they're rolling with her, then we're gonna assume they're good people too. You know what I mean?
Exactly, exactly. No, that's so true. Game recognized game. And it's,
Word.
again, one of the things that drew me to you as well. And so, you know, one of the ways I like to start this show, Kyeezi, is I like to tell people kind of like how I know the different people who I'm interviewing. And just
Yeah.
like you said, like, you know, we were just seeing each other on the streets like for years, like cocoa nights, steak
Yeah.
nights. We were just
Yeah.
always, you know, turning up, turning up.
Yeah,
You
yeah. It's
know?
like, yo,
And
you good? Oh shit, yo, good to see you. All right, cool, let's go. You know?
exactly, you know, bop, 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 you know, we good, we good.
Yeah,
But then
yeah,
I remember we had this one moment. It was 6 o'clock in the morning. We were at Cape Town International Airport,
yeah.
and and I was flying. I was flying to like Tanzania or something for work. And I
Yeah,
swear, you know, it was at that very first flight, that like 6 a.m. from Cape Town to Joburg, and you had literally like just rolled out of Coco. Like you had a
yeah,
suitcase, and you had
yeah,
come straight from the club to catch a
yeah.
plane. And I was like, that's the lifestyle I need to live. Like,
Yo, listen, let me tell you something, right? And I'm gonna, yo, be careful what you wish for, bro. Because, yo, like, be careful because, like, I think I had to do trips to Johannesburg every Saturday morning. I had to fly to Johannesburg. I did that for close to, I think, like 6 months, if not
wow.
like maybe 8 months. So I would always have a residency, obviously at Coco the Friday night. I'd only finish at Coco maybe 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'd have to catch that 6 o'clock flight. And like, it really sounds cool, right? Like, oh snap, yo, we out here working. Yo, next city,
Right.
yo, let me tell you, bro. The excitement only lasts for like 2 weeks, dog. Like for 2 weeks, dog. like, like I thought it was the coolest thing for like the first 2 weeks. Like, yo, Cape Town, I'm out. I gotta get to Joburg. I gotta do a show. All right, cool. Yo, you know what it is? I'm an entertainer. You know, I'm a DJ. I'm doing the whole country thing,
Yeah.
bro. Like like week three, I'm
Uh-oh, hold up. Kyeezi, I just lost your voice. Is that just me? Can I not hear you? Can anybody else hear? I'm like, what happened? I'm like, I can see your voice saying 1 2 1 2, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, yeah, I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
So I was saying that, like, the first 2 weeks, it's exciting. Like, okay, cool, yo, I'm hustling, I'm out here. I'm a national DJ now. I'm gonna be in the game. I'm in the game.
Exactly.
Yo, bro, like week 3, bro, I'm at Coco and I'm like, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and I have to go catch a flight at 6.
Wow.
Yo, I'm just like, wait a minute. And then I remember the one weekend.
We got.
It's gonna have to wait.
You're so popular.
Like, yo, like, sorry, my phone is blowing up. I don't know why my phone's blowing up. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
But I didn't even pack a bag. I just threw clothes in the boot of my car, and I said, yo, I'm just gonna pack when I get to the airport. So I just put sneakers, pants, all sorts of things. And I got to the airport and literally took a bag and I was like, okay, I'll wear this, I'll wear this. And I mean, yo, like, it got so bad, the security guards knew me at the airport. They're like, yo, you're coming back which day? So we'll just make sure your stuff is safe. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll be back in 2 days or whatnot. So when you ran into me, I was probably just like, yo, my homie, you have no idea what I am doing. Like, it's rough, you know?
Right. But I think that speaks to the diversity of the different types of gigs that you do, the diversity of the places in which you do different gigs. So talk to us. I mean, you've got, you know, the show on the radio, Good Hope FM, The Great Drive, you know, every weekday, 3 to 6 p.m., you know, across Cape Town. You've got a TV show on Channel O, okay, where you DJing on TV, music biz extraordinaire. You know, you're DJing live sets at night, Coco, Souk, Ayep, even restaurants like Tiger's Milk. And then you have a whole YouTube show, which I cannot wait to talk to you about that. We'll get into that. And don't worry, I researched that. We're going to talk about that. But you just do so many different types of things. Like, do you have a type of gig that you prefer? And what is it like kind of balancing all these different types of entertainment mediums?
Yo, like, look, the balancing is really the tough part, right? Like, I'll be honest with you. I mean, even today, you know, and I was joking around with everything that I had to do. Like, I had to wake up, obviously go do a workout. And then after my workout, I had to record a voiceover for one of my clients, ShopRite. So I do commercials as well. And I do voice for that as well. And then at the end of my voiceover, which was like an hour and a half session, I was like, okay, I got to go put on my Yip hat. And I had a meeting for some brand alignment with a Yip today. And then after that meeting, I was like, yo, I need to go put on my radio hat. Okay. And then I had my radio show. And right now, after this interview, I'm like, all right, let me put my interview hat on. And after this, I'm about to do some admin. And I really, for me, bro, like, I'll be honest with you, like, when I got into the entertainment industry, I wanted 360. Like, I wanted 360 degrees of the whole thing, purely because I believe that, you know, I have the capabilities to really offer something special to Entertainment South Africa, entertainment to the world, you know? And I say the world openly because I still believe that, you know, I have a lot to offer the world of entertainment, whether it be radio, whether it be DJing, whether it be emceeing, whether it be voiceover, whether it be commercial. But I have all this potential in myself, I believe, and I'm willing to work at it. So, you know, you can't get everything right. You know, I am probably the worst best friend to some of my mates because, no, for real, like, like my boys know me. They know, like, I'm hardly ever available. You know, on weekends when everybody else is chilling, that's high time for me to become a DJ and to put in the work on that front, you know? So I mean, like the type of gigs, bro, like wherever the energy's at, you know, like I really love playing in front of people who don't like hip hop, who don't know Kyeezi, who don't care about Kyeezi. Those are the gigs I love the most
Okay.
because I step into that, yo, by the time I'm done, you're gonna know who I am. Like
You gonna know today. You
know
gonna
what I
learn
mean?
today.
Like today, you're gonna know. You're gonna ask, who's that guy? So
Exactly.
from a gig perspective, like I love playing Cape Town, but I enjoy going into spaces where the bouncers are like, who's this tall guy coming here? Is he security or what? And that's you know what I mean? That those are the ones where I feel like, yo, I still got to prove myself and I still have a lot of ground to work for me to grow this product that I'm trying to put out to the world, you know? And I'm not trying to be comfortable. I'm not trying to be, yo, that dude's a dope Cape Town DJ. No, no, no. This dude is a dope DJ. That dude is a dope Cape Town radio jock. No, 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 no. This dude is a dope radio jock. Holistically, pound for pound, you know, I always tell my friends and people closest to me, whatever we're doing, we need to do it at a world level. So I need to be able to say pound for pound, bring anybody in the world. Bring anybody in the world and I can match them and I can do what I can do. You know what I mean? And that's really the bigger picture for me, you know?
Yes, yes. And I think, you know, that, what is that phrase that we say, you know, internationally known and locally respected, like 100%, that is the energy, that is the vibe that you give off. But you're already international. So I want to take it back. I want to take it a little bit back because, you know, obviously everybody tuning in, you can hear from my accent. You know, I'm from the United States originally, but I've been living here in Cape Town, South Africa, you know, for years now. And you also had a little stint in the United States back in the day. Tell us about that. Like, where were you at? What was that?
Yo,
like, we got to talk about that.
So my dad was pursuing his PhD and my mother was doing her master's. So my dad was a part of an exchange program that went to Michigan State, East Lansing, Michigan. And I was a lot younger. So I finished up what we call primary, elementary, that side. And I did middle school in the US and then came back to South Africa for high school, right?
Okay.
So middle school, you know, you are already like, you've built your character, you know what you like, you know, you're into yourself and you're into specific things. And I think for me, when I was in middle school, things changed. I just became who I am, you know. And when I came back to SA, this is how I talk. This is how I dress. You know, this is what I'm into. You know what I mean? And obviously you get ridiculed. Obviously you get called out. You know, I didn't learn how to speak Xhosa until I came back to South Africa. You know, and now I can speak fluently. You know, so it's been something that for me just comes naturally. You know, people joke around with my radio shows. They're like, "Why does he sound like that?" And then the peeps who know me will be like, "No, bro, that's genuinely how he is. This is who he is. This is me in the most comfortable way." You know, and I never want to step away from that. You know, I am South African. I am Xhosa. I'm a Xhosa guy who's had the opportunity of being exposed to, you know, different parts of the world, and they've influenced him in a way that he never thought would be possible. It doesn't mean that I'm some, you know, cookie cutter dude. It's like, yeah,
right.
See, yeah, see, you know what I mean? But I'm an outie who's been around, who's experienced different cultures, and you know, I've had really the pleasure of seeing the world and carrying it with me. And you know, everything I do from a place that I understand and know. You know, many a times, like I've gone for auditions, and they're like, "Yo, why do you sound like that?" And I'm like, "Yo, if I'm not what you're looking for, that's okay. You know, but this is how I sound." You know,
right? This is me. This is me exactly. And I think you know, it's clear listening to you talk now that like this cross-cultural capital that you have, you know, spending time in the United States, coming back to South Africa, taking the time to actually learn your home language,
Yeah.
you know, reintegrate into this culture here, which, you know, which is where you're from, you know, originally.
Yeah.
That's really important. And that, I mean, I think that's one of the reasons why you're able to navigate so many different types of entertainment, so many different types of audiences, the way that you do now, right? Because you know how to navigate different communities, different cultures. But we know, you know, that your other moniker, you know, besides Kyeezi, is the Tall Wonder, right? And you know, as someone who is regularly on the streets scouting for tall men, okay, regularly, I'm scouting, okay, you are definitely one of the tallest ones out there, okay? You're like nearly 2 meters tall, and the reality is that South African men just really aren't that tall. So what happened, Kyeezi? How did you get all this height?
Bro,
and what's it been like being heads above the rest?
Bro, can I tell you something? Like, my dad is shorter than me. My mom is shorter than me. So my little sister was born when we were living in the US, right?
Okay.
So my little sister is the closest person to me with regards to height. So I'm under the impression, and I could be wrong, but the theory is, in America, the food has specific, like, growth hormones. No, for real. No,
it's true. It's true. I'm laughing,
for real.
It's true.
And they have specific growth hormones in the food. And obviously, I was consuming this when I was a lot younger, when I had my growth sprout, you know? And when that happened, I came back, like, my height is normal to me. Like, I get shocked when people say, like, yo, you're tall. I'm like, yo, you should see everywhere else in the world.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, because everywhere else, I'm the normal height. So I think it definitely has something to do with the chemicals in the food in America. I believe that affected my height, because I outgrew everyone in my family. Like, I could walk into a room and you'd say, there's no way that, if my mom was there, you'd say, there's no way that's your child because he's huge. You know, right. Everyone in my family is very tiny. Do I enjoy being tall? Only now I'm enjoying being tall. Like, only now. Like, it's always been something that you walk into a room, bro, and everybody knows you're there. It's like, dang.
I'm like, is that a bad thing though? I'm trying to be seen, Kyeezi.
Yeah, you know, like in high school I was bullied because I was tall and very thin, you know. And you know, I played basketball, and you know, on the rugby pitch, when you're the skinny guy, you know, everybody, you know, is coming after you to break some sort of bone, you know. So that was something that sort of, you know, made me very uncomfortable with being around people. So, you know, and a lot of people who are tall actually have this issue. You tend to want to shrink yourself to be accommodating of everybody else because you just genuinely take up a lot of air. You take up a lot of room. You know what I mean? So, like, I'm only enjoying my height now as an adult, because I for once I feel like, wait a minute, man, like, man, this is who I am, and you know, let me work with this. And that's why the Tall Wonder became a thing, because I was finally owning something that, to be honest with you, I didn't like. I never liked being the tallest guy in every room. I didn't like it, you know. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take the one thing everybody made fun of, and I'm actually gonna make it a brand name, and I'm gonna put money behind it and make me money, you know. And that's how the name Kyeezi The Tall Wonder came about. It was Kyeezi, Cape Town's favorite tall guy, and then it became yeah, for real. And then in Cape Town, we have one of the great wonders of the world. And I was with a friend of mine, and he was like, yeah, Cape Town has one of the great wonders in the world. In fact, you're the Tall Wonder. And I was like, oh, snap. Yo,
there we go.
Run it, you know?
Yes. I love that. I love how sometimes it's our homies, the people closest to us, they just like roll something off the top of the tongue. They just say something so casually, and you're like, wait a second, that's it. That's the move. Let me trademark that. That's the thing right there.
Let's go. Let's go.
Well, we're all so happy that you have fully embraced your height and your tallness. As a fellow basketball player, I'm always like, I love being tall. I want everybody around me to be tall. I'm like, you know, when I used to play basketball, all the girls on the team, you know, they'd be like 6 foot, 6'2". I'm 5'8", right? They'd be like, Nicole, why do you act like you're 6 foot? You're 5'8".
Yeah.
I'm like, big energy, big Banz energy, you know. I love the tall guys. And you also, you know, you own that now, which is fantastic. So, okay, so you got the, you know, the basketball history, the background growing up, living in the United States for a little bit. How did you transition into the entertainment space? What was that journey for you?
Yo, bro, like, for me, it was rough, bro. Like, it was, I used to work at the bank. So firstly, I dropped out of university. I just felt like I was buying time. If you asked me what I was gonna do with my degree, I couldn't answer you. I didn't know. That does not go for anyone on this live, because that was a bad decision.
Stay in school, kids.
My mistakes. My mistake. My first mistake was being naive.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
So to anybody else, don't do it, because you're gonna avoid a lot of shit. Cool. I used to work at the bank, and I entered this MTV VJ search, and partly because you know, my girlfriend at that time told me, yo, you know, when you talk, people listen to you. And I was like, what do you mean? She was like, no, when you talk, like, people just listen. It's weird, you know? And I was like, okay. So I'd never been a presenter before. I didn't know it was a career. Bro, I went into this competition and I became a finalist. And I was like, I'm talking about music, the thing I love. I can tell you anything and everything you need to know about music. I live hip hop. I get it, you know? And that's when the penny dropped, when I started to see individuals in the industry who speak about the culture, who live the culture, who support the culture, and really deliver content and information about the culture. And that's when it hit me that, wait a minute, all this time I was researching why Jay-Z said this in this song, and why Wale said this in this song, and J. Cole said that, and Snap, AKA, was talking about this. Like, I was one of those people, like, when I get a song, I listen to it, and I'm like, oh, snap, on my computer, yo, did this really happen? You know?
Yeah.
So I was really into the culture. And then, I mean, like, I quit my job, and I lost everything. Like, when I say I lost everything, like, I had moved out of home because I was working. I had bought my first car. I was making a lot of money at the age of like 23, 22, working at the bank. And then like the penny dropped and it just felt so right. Like it felt like, snap, I can be myself again. I even took all the clothing that I used to wear to my corporate job and I burnt it. Like chinos and everything. I like for real. Like, it was so dramatic. It was so dramatic. Yeah, I was like, yo, corporate world, yo, man, I took these clothes and I was like, I'm going to start over. And, you know, starting over means that you lose everything. So I've been broke, you know. I've been evicted. I've had my cars repossessed. I've lived life where I have to survive off 7 rand for 3 days. I've slept in studios. I've crashed on my friend's couch for a year. I've carried my bags trying to figure out where I'm gonna sleep, you know. So, but what happened, you know, along the way is I found the thing that gave me life, which is radio and being able to give people content. And then from the radio, I actually figured out that events needed someone who has a voice to carry the energy of the night. And that's how I got into becoming an MC, you know? And I mean, there are a lot of MCs now, right? But there was no MC when I was out here trying to do it. There was no one, dog.
You're the OG, the original.
Not even the OG. But imagine going to somebody and saying, pay me to talk on the microphone
at your
for
club.
your night.
At your event, yeah.
At your event. Everyone was like, you get out of here, man. You're wasting our time, bro. What the hell are you talking about? You know what I mean? So we had to start from the ground, like literally, like I think the first gig I got paid something like 100 Rand, you know, for 4 hours of emceeing. And I was dead broke at the time, you know. And then it slowly started to become, it went from something that was weird and event organizers didn't want it to something that, holy snap, who's the MC? Who's going to be the person to take the energy of the room to the next level, you know, and really be able to introduce acts in a very appropriate way so that we can get the crowd to have a really great time, you know? So I started to fulfill that role based off of what I did on radio at UCT Radio. And this was all for free, but I was dead broke. And then I didn't necessarily get a shot at commercial radio. I sort of forced my way in. I lost this competition that we're currently running right now called the Campus DJ Search. Okay. And I had the number of the programming manager who selects people for radio from the competition. And I didn't lose that number. I called it every single day with my, if I had 7 Rand for the day, 5 Rand would be used on airtime for me to call this guy looking for a job, you know? So it's really like, but I talk about it now, like when I'm like thinking about it, like snap, yo, we really went through a lot, but we really went through the steps of having to build something from the ground up, from commercial, from community radio to where we earned nothing to, you know, 100 Rand, 500 Rand, 1,000 Rand, you know, sleeping on my homie's couch, you know, sleeping in B&Bs. And I can tell you about every bed and breakfast at Observatory. I can tell you each and every single one.
You were at all of them.
I was at all of them. I can tell you how much they cost, you know?
But I think this is so important for folks to hear, Kyeezi, because, you know, I think people look at you, people look at these superstars, these people who are on the radio, on TV, out at the clubs, and, you know, and you think that people just like snap their fingers and all of a sudden they're successful. And the reality is that's not the case. It takes so much grit. It takes so much effort. It takes so much hard work, you know, but I think what really resonates with me is when you said, you know, you were working this job at the bank and you just decided, like, for your own heart, your own health, your mental health, you were like, actually, I want to pursue my passion, even if it means I'm going to be broke for the next year or for however long I'm hustling. Because I think we're in a time right now where a lot of people, myself included, are doing the exact same thing. You know, we're saying we want to follow our passions. We want to do what brings us joy, even if we don't know the game, even if we don't know how it's going to make us money. You know, we're just going to figure it out. We're going to keep calling that phone number every day until somebody says yes.
No, like literally. And it's so weird, bro, because like I used to live, I think I did like 4 years where I was eating 1 meal a day. But in that time, you know, you're so caught up on the dream, you don't even feel yourself losing weight and getting thin and looking like, you know, shit is rough, you know? I never used to feel the walk from, you know, the taxi rank in town all the way to Heating Hall. I never used to feel it because I was in pursuit. So I would have different mechanisms that help me get through the day, you know? And you know, I do believe in, like we spoke about, energies connect, you know? I had people in Observatory, this one specific guy, his name is Samuel. And every time Samuel would see me, I'd have my backpack and he'd be like, yo, dog, every time I see you, you're never at these places drinking alcohol. You're never doing anything weird. You've got your backpack. You sit at that coffee shop because it had Wi-Fi and the coffee was 13 Rand. So if I'm on Wi-Fi and that coffee is 13 Rand, I'm going to be there for 6 hours, you know? You feel me? You feel me? You know? And he said, yo, if you can't pay for the things you need, I can give them to you and you can pay me back when you get the money. And this is things like bread and eggs and tea bags and stuff like that. So you end up you end up gravitating towards people that give you just enough for you to be able to carry on your journey, you know. And luckily for me, when I started really pursuing my career, I read the book The Alchemist, and I genuinely believed that I was the alchemist, that I was going through the bushes, and along the way I ran into people that would assist me to keep going, you know. And hence why, you know, I am the way I am with everybody, because I get it. Like, I get what it's like to not have, you know. So you see me and you think I have, and I'm like, no, 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 yo, this is what's supposed to happen. You're supposed to go through a rough patch. You're supposed to starve a little, you know. You can be smart and work like this in order for you to no longer starve, you know. So I've been there, I get it. And, you know, I'm really fortunate to be able to talk about it now openly, because, you know, we're in a better position. We're really blessed to be working. And like I said, like, I'm working, like I'm working, and I'm only asking for more work from the world. And it's coming, you know.
Oh, for sure. It is absolutely coming, Kyeezi. We're all here supporting you, your friends, your fans, your followers. We got your back. We'll be your Samuels moving forward, you know.
Yeah, man. We all need that, yo. Like, we all need it. Like, you know, it's so crazy, man. Like, people talk about how bad the world is and how bad people are to each other. And then every once in a while, dog, you just run into good people who see something in you, you know. And those people, even if it's a small thing, they just propel you to be able to go, you know, a step further. I mean, I'll tell you a story. Like, I remember, you know, obviously I was staying in OBS, and the studios at Good Hope were at Sea Point, and I used to do a show from 4 to 6 in the morning, you know, Monday to Friday. So at 3 o'clock on a Monday, I'd be up. Tuesday, Wednesday, I'd be up for my show at 4 to 6 in the morning. Yeah, you know, and I'd be broke. And, you know, I would sometimes give people, the cab driver from Observatory, my cell phone to hold on to my phone until I can come back and get the money for the fare. And then, you know, I ran into a dude who was like, yo, bro, you don't have to give me your phone. You know what? Pay me this amount once a week. I will always pick you up at 3:30 to get you at studio at 4 o'clock. You know what I mean? And because he was working the area, it was his extra money. His name is Whitey, you know? And it's so crazy. I ran into him, I think a couple of months ago. And in the car, we'd obviously talk. He'd always ask me, like, yo, why are you doing this? Like, where are you going with this? How are you so sure? And I remember telling him, like, yo, dog, one day I'm going to get on Metro, dog. And trust me, this is going to make sense. And one day, and I said to him, one day you're going to hear me on radio when the sun is out, dog. You know? Trust me, like, I just have to keep going. I have to keep going. And that was, I think, what, 2 years of 4 to 6 in the morning. And then I did the chart show. And then I did, and then things just switched up. Like, then we just, like, then Metro called. And I remember he was one of the first people to call me. He's like, dog, you're on Metro FM. And I'm like, yo, I told you, bro. 5 years later. Like, 5 years. I told you, bro. You know what I mean? So
I love that. I love that. Like, go ahead.
You, like, it's and I want people to understand that, like, this shit of, like, telling yourself this is where you're at can take forever. It can take forever. But some of us are like, yo, the forever I'm there for. Do you have the legs to go? You know, so if you tell me a goal and it's gonna take us 10 years, I'm like, let's go. You know, if it takes us 20, but if we're doing it for the right reasons, you know, God is always gonna be on our side, you know? We're always gonna be able to eat food. If I've got a place where I can put my head down, it doesn't even have to be a bed. And I can do what I need to do, then let me do it, you know?
Exactly. And you'll just make it work no matter what. And I think these stories of resilience, these stories of the people that supported you and encouraged you along the way are so tremendous, because I think, you know, one of the things I've been noticing a lot, even with me launching this show, NIKKI BANZ Live, you know, every Tuesday, I found that the people, you know, my best friends or the people closest to me sometimes aren't actually my biggest supporters. No shade. It's not like that. I'm just saying that, you know, there have been random people who have been some of the biggest advocates, the biggest supporters. They always repost. They always tune in live. They're always commenting on the live chat. And I'm like, damn, like I didn't even know, you know, I didn't even know that these people, they really see me and they really support me. And it's so encouraging. Just like that, you know, just like the taxi driver, just like Samuel giving you the bread. Like, it's like these people, they see it. They see the energy. They see the vision. They see the potential. And those are the people who launch us to help us be the superstars that we're destined to be. And it's incredible.
No doubt, bro. Like Nikki, I'll tell you straight up, and I'll be honest with you. I lost a lot of friends. Like, I lost a lot of... I lost a lot of friends, obviously, when I, you know, stopped working at the bank and I started pursuing this thing. And, you know, that's when you start to sort of realize as well that I lost friends, but I gained partners for life. You know, I lost friends and I gained partners for life. You know what I mean? Because it's like when you can't see it right here, like you can't see it at face value and you're only seeing it in your head. I almost went to a point where if you can't match this energy that I've got here, I'm doing myself a disservice by talking and being about that. And people don't understand that sometimes you have to protect your energy and you have to protect your dreams. You have to protect your imagination. Because
oh my God.
If I'm talking to you about a dope idea and you're not giving me the energy I need for this dope idea, I may be like, yo, I forget you, but it's gonna affect me. It's gonna affect me.
Yes. I'm like, Kyeezi, I'm like, say it louder for those in the back. Protect your energy. Especially when you have dreams, when you have visions, when you have goals, you have to keep the circle tight. You have to keep the circle tight, because you need people who not just match your energy, they actually challenge you to be the better version of yourself. And you have to have those people there. Like, those are your real people, you know, your real friends.
Word,
oh
yo. So like that for me is like a big thing. Like, you know, my ideas, I don't speak about them just freely, not because I'm trying to hold them, but I also understand that you could have hurt me if you're not seeing it, you know. And I mean, when I started doing radio and entertainment, when I would do my radio shows, I wasn't doing it for UCT radio. I was doing it to a world audience. You know, I always used to say, and I used to think, and I still do every day for my radio show, if somebody is giving awards for radio shows, today's the day that they tune into my show. So I need to bring it. If somebody from big concerts is looking for the next biggest DJ, I'm playing the set right now that they need to hear for that event. If somebody's watching TV and they're looking for the best presenter, that moment that I'm presenting is the most important moment. So, you know, Will Smith always said, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. You know what I mean? So one of my main objectives is to stay ready. My calling is on the way. When my calling arrives, yo, I'm ready. I am ready. I've been ready. I've been practicing. I've been in the gym. I've been at it, you know. And that for me has been like the thing that's always worked, where I'm saying, yo, this is do or die every single time. That's why, I mean, you'd see me at Coco. I used to be sweating. I'd be sweating on that stage, bro.
Yes.
And, you know.
This is the moment. This is the moment.
You know, and people be like, yo, why you going? I'm like, yo, man, you guys think I'm working here at Coco? No, my mind is seeing Rocking the Daisies. And my mind is seeing everything else besides what you guys are putting in front of me right now. And that's what it is for me. It takes 1 or 2 people to fuck with you. I don't need 1,000 people. If you fuck with me and it's only 2 of you, I'm gonna make sure that 2 turns into 4. That 4 turns into 8. You know what I mean? And I'm willing to go through that process. You know what I mean? And that's been my journey, bro. Like, I know everything that I want, I have to work for. I have to start from the ground. You know, we did an event series in December. We lost money. And then in the third week, it turned around and shit was popping. Everybody was like, yo, we out here. And if we wanted to stop after the first 2 weeks, it would have been a wrap. So I know the feeling of like, yo, nobody's messing with you, but you are here. You're already here. Like, no, they're not messing with me right now, but they will catch on. And when they catch on, I'm still going to be going even harder. You know what I mean?
Yes. Oh my gosh. I'm so energized by this whole conversation. I'm like, I'm just going, you know, the bars you are spitting, the enthusiasm and the encouragement around following your passions, keeping the circle close, protecting the energy is so important. And I want to make sure I shout out, you know, we have about 15 minutes left, and I see lots of y'all typing in the chat, joining in. If you have questions for Kyeezi, I will ask those questions. So if you're looking on Instagram Live right now, there's like a little bubble, a little thought bubble with a question mark in it. Go ahead and type your questions into that little box right there, into that little bubble with the question mark. I will ask Kyeezi your questions. We want to get the audience involved. You know, these fans, these, you know, 15, 20 people who have been tuning in to the live. Yeah, please ask your questions and I'll ask them for Kyeezi. But I just think it's, you know, it's so important. You're reminding us that, like, you just never know who's watching. So keep that vision, keep that thing going. Same for me. I'm like, cool, I'm doing this Instagram Live interview series. I'm not sponsored. Nobody is paying me to do this. I'm like, but it's cool though, because maybe one day somebody from Netflix is going to hop on and they're going to be like, yo, who's that? And I'll be like, I'm ready. I was ready. I was here for this moment, you know, because I bring it 100% every single time. And you are just reminding me and reminding everyone here that that's exactly what we have to do. So I see some people starting to drop some questions. Keep those questions coming. Don't necessarily put them in the chat because we might lose them. Put them in that little thought bubble with the question mark there. One delay. Drop that question in that question bubble there on the Instagram Live. But let me just ask you, Kyeezi, my last question for now before we turn it over, you know, to the people, because we love the people. My last question is, like, you know, what should we be on the lookout for? What's coming soon? What should we be expecting? Talk to us about what's on the horizon so we can support.
Bro, I've got some really crazy ideas. I promise you, Nikki, like, if I could clone myself, I would put the money up. I would just make another version of myself, because 24 hours in a day sometimes doesn't feel like enough, bro. You know? So I've got a passion project that I've really been pondering on for about a year now. It's not even a project. It's something that I want to do for fun, to give back to the music and to musicians. I've actually come on live and asked guys if I should do it, but I'm really going to do it now. I'm going to be launching another YouTube channel that's focused on music. You'll be able to see that. Currently, I've got 2 TV ads on the way. I've got one with Santam and one with ShopRite. And then for the summer, I've got my event series coming back called Unplugged. I'm going to be bringing back my my event. I'm still just ironing out a few nitty gritties. And the thing about Unplugged is, can I pitch it? Can I just share it with everybody? Do you mind?
Oh, please, pitch.
So Unplugged, our tagline is live in the moment. And this is the one event and production where your cell phone, you cannot take pictures. You cannot basically show everybody what you're drinking. It's literally about just sort of tapping out and living in the moment and being around everybody. So we're bringing that back for the summertime. I'm going to be also rolling out my gig guides for December, but I'm going to be trying to plug in as much as I possibly can with my marketing. So, like, I'm going to be trying to be playing sets everywhere, you know? Yeah, man. Yo, there's a lot, dog. Like, 2021's not over, bro. Like, it's not. Like, for real. You know, like,
it is not.
Real, you know? My radio show, please tune into The Great Drive every Monday to Friday. Please come through, catch the sets whenever you get a moment. Yeah, man, like there's a lot of really dope work that we are going to be building for the next 5 years that I think for me is going to be a part of my legacy project, to really sort of unlock other radio jocks and other entertainers in Cape Town.
Okay.
Because the one thing that I've noticed in my years of being in radio and being in entertainment is that we're not sharing enough information with other people. So I had to go through what I had to go through so that no one else has to go through it. You feel me? That's why I'm saying do not drop out of school. Get that piece of paper, because you need to feed your dreams. Your dreams are real, but you also need to feed them. You know, so if you have the ability to be in a position where you can pursue your dream and still be able to feed yourself, then you don't have to go through what some of us had to go through. I think that's my job with the things that I struggled with, is to make sure that, you know, the next line of radio jocks, TV presenters, DJs, and entertainers don't have to go through it. But there's a code, you know, everybody has to pay their dues. Everybody has to put in the work, you know. So there's a whole lot coming through. But as of next year, you're going to be seeing me step into the background, and try to sort of position things in Cape Town. And there's some things that are happening that you don't even know I'm involved in. And I like that because,
Okay.
yeah, I like that. I like that, man, because, like, yo, man, there's a lot of dope people, man, Nikki. Like, there's a lot, man. And, like, I have more than enough work. I'm blessed to have more coming. But I think now it's trying to build a network in Cape Town of other people that we can sort of be like, yo, use this person. Like, yo, if I get an MC booking and I'm like, yo, but Nikki is a better fit. Yo, Nikki, run this. This is your baby. Go. Yo, go make your money, you know? I've learned as well that, you know, your willingness to give and to learn, God and everything around you will ensure that you too will be able to receive the fruits. So I'm at the age now where I'm like, yo, who else is trying to do this? I can share information. I can make the phone call. But if I make the phone call, you got to be reliable and don't let me down, you know?
Right.
And that's where we're at, man. Like, I'm really blessed, dude. Like, I'm really in a great space, man. And I pray that I stay in it. You know, COVID-19 was really tough, but, you know, we maneuvered, yo, and it's all by staying positive and staying stuck to what we believe in. So I hope that I can sort of, and that's why I haven't left Cape Town to move to Johannesburg. That's why I haven't left. I haven't found 3 or 4 or 5 other Kyeezes. So when I leave, it's like, yo, things are still cool here. You know, that's really one of the big missions for me, is to find 4 or 5 other versions who can do this better.
Exactly. And it's that legacy, you know, it's paying it forward so that the next generation of DJs, MCs, presenters, they can stand, you know, on the shoulders of giants like you who went through the tough times to actually go through, and then now they can come out on the other side better with guidance, with mentorship, and with these networks that you mentioned, which are so important to any kind of success in this kind of industry. So, Kyeezi, I want to make sure that I give some time to the people since they're asking questions. I saw one question in the chat about where is Unplugged happening? This Unplugged party that you mentioned. Where does that happen? Do we know yet?
Yo,
is it out there?
Guys,
is it a secret?
No, you're gonna get the details in November. So, Nikki, this is the thing about Unplugged, and you see, I'm so happy talking about it. Unplugged is designed for everyday people. I got between you and I got hella tired of always having to dress up to go out to have a good time. I like my shorts and my kicks, bro. And I was like, yo, man.
Like every time they try to bounce me at Coco because I'd be wearing sneakers, I'd be like, but I want to wear sneakers, bro.
You feel me? You know? So it's designed for that, you know? information will only come out in November. And the reason the information is only going to come out in November is from an organizational perspective from our side. There's a lot of things that I still need to sort out before going public with where we're going to do it and how we're going to do it. I'm learning a lot about the eventing space. Oh, yeah. I got my production company that does events and does consulting for some corporates now as well. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm learning. And that's why even at IAPF, I'm positioned where I am because I'm learning, you know. So Unplugged, it's going to come December in Jan. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be simple, yo. Like if you're good people, if you're good people, come through, man. Like there's none of that. There's no sparklers. There's none of that. There's none of that. You feel me? It's like, yo, man, we all out here. You feel me? You know? Like, yo.
Okay, well, we're gonna keep an eye out. We're all waiting for the Unplugged details to drop. We're also waiting for the details about your music project to drop. So we're gonna keep an eye out. Okay, we got some other questions in the chat. Diso RSA has a question that says, how do you stay resilient in a time where people shoot ideas down and things get hard? So what keeps you resilient?
Firstly, never getting comfortable. I think comfort is the highway towards your death. You know, whenever I feel like, okay, I'm good here, I start to ask, okay, so why am I doing this? For me, the why is always important in anything and everything that I'm trying to do. I always ask the question, why? Why are you at IAPF? Why are you on radio? And I ask that question every 3 months, if not 6 months, you know? Because if I struggle to figure out why I'm doing something, then it probably means I shouldn't be doing it. You know what I mean? People will talk about the money, you know, and I've always, and this is going to be weird, right?
Okay.
I don't chase money. I'm not, and I'm saying it specifically so the law of attraction can hear me. I like to make money,
right?
But I don't chase it. I chase the vision and the idea. So,
yes,
whatever happens, by God's grace, everything turns into things that can keep me alive and make me money. So, for instance, you feel me? So, for instance, Unplugged, when we designed it, it was free entrance. We took on all the costs. We took on all the costs. We lost money. Like I said, in the 3rd week, we turned around. It still was free at cost. And the bar made so much money, we actually ended up making money. You know?
Wow.
You feel me? So for me, the why is important. And the why can never be, oh, this is going to make us a lot of money. I can't do it like that. Because if I wanted to make money, I could be a drug dealer. If I wanted to make money, I could go put in my CV somewhere. If that was the reason I'm waking up in the morning, nah.
Right. You could go back to the bank.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. So even with voiceovers, everything, I'm in my first 2 years of really doing a high volume of voiceovers for the whole country. I am still learning how to be a pro voiceover artist. You know what I mean?
Still growing.
Bro, my manager, I don't even know how much I get paid to do voiceovers. I don't even know. All I'm concerned about is getting there, doing the job outstandingly, and walking out and knowing that I've gotten better. Now I have systems in place, like I have a manager who looks after that, because the industry also takes advantage of that, by the way.
Right.
The industry does take advantage of that. The industry preys on people who are so passionate, they don't place a value on their craft.
So then the thought becomes, if they don't value themselves, why should we? No, it's not that I don't value myself. It's that I'm so concentrated on executing this on a great level. And luckily, I'm in the position where I have people who work with me, not for me, who are dependent on me doing a good job for them to eat. So it's a different ballgame altogether. I can't wake up and say, I can't do this. Nah, it's like, yo, I got to feed people out here. Wow. You know what I mean? Wow. I got to really show up. So the resilience comes from no comfort zone and constantly answering why. Why are you doing this? And if the answer's wrong, I've gotten up and walked out before. I said, no, I don't want to do this.
Yes.
I don't.
Yes.
And if the why is wrong, I cannot do this now. I can't do it.
And that is, it's so important. You know, asking ourselves why we do the things that we do. We have to make decisions that are conscious, that are intentional, that aren't just about money or, you know, whatever superficial things that we think we need. Is this something that actually brings us joy? Is this something that actually challenges me or grows me in some kind of way? And if it's not, then yeah, you should walk away. For sure, for sure. So Kyeezi, I know we're like at time now. I think I maybe just want to ask one more question from the chat. If you have a couple extra minutes to spare.
Oh, come on, I got you. Yo, no worries.
I know we got so many like amazing.
Yo, by the way, Doug, you're a great interviewer. From an interviewer to another one, you're really dope. You know, you're really dope at this, bro. Keep at it, bro. Like for real. Like I'm chilling here while we're doing this. I'm like, yo, man, I need to hook Nikki up with somebody. Something needs to happen. You know, but you're
honestly. Thank you.
You're a great
Thank you. I'm ready.
Dog.
I'm ready. You know, that's why I started doing the show, because I was like, let me just talk to people, put my energy out there somewhere. Someone is going to see something, and then we'll launch from there. Yeah. So that, honestly, coming from you, I really appreciate it. So I'm ready to clap on something, Kyeezi. We can, you know, we can MC together somewhere. I'm ready.
Yo, man. Hey, man, like rock, bro. Yo, rock, bro. Rock.
I love it. I love it. Okay, last question I'm going to ask you is from Wandile, who says, what was your biggest lesson in 2021? We know the year's not over yet, but so far, what's been your biggest lesson learned?
Man, yo, so many. The biggest lesson learned was I decide. I decide at what frequency I'm going to work at. COVID-19 came and shut things down, but I decided that I'm going to work on myself. I'm going to improve myself. You know, COVID-19 is when I started working out, and I found a new love in working out. You know, I found a new love. I found a new way of channeling my thoughts and working on my confidence. And COVID-19 presented that opportunity to me. You know, so 2019, I decided I'm going to change the way I work on myself, you know, and that was the biggest lesson. I decide that I'm going to work. I decide I'm not going to sleep and I'm going to do what I need to do. I decide if this gig is going to be the one that I want, you know. I had wanted to be on television for, I think, 4 or 5 years. I did a TV show for SABC3, and I hadn't been on TV for about 4 years, right? It's so crazy. I did an interior design show, bro. Like, what do I know about interior design, bro? What? Like, what?
You're just captivating.
You know,
you're just captivating.
You feel me?
We'll
But
to even you talk about.
even that show, I did it because I was like, I need to prove to myself that I can be a presenter, and it doesn't have to be about music. So there was a lesson. So 4 years down the line, I kept saying, I think for the last 2 years, man, I want to present a music show. I just believe I want to do that. But crazy enough, before I said that line, I said, I want to get back on TV. I decided I want to get back on TV. Bro, 6 months later, I get a ShopRite ad. I'm the lead in that ad. I'm like, snap, hold up. I want to get back on TV, but I want to do a music show. I want to do a music show. I want to get back on TV. I get the next level. The next level, bro, like literally, bro.
Yes. Manifest that.
To a point where, you know, my homeboy PH was conceptualizing this idea with me. So now I'm part of designing the very show I'm going to present. I'm like, yo, somebody's hearing me. So when I decide, and the thing is, when you decide, it needs to be pure, it needs to be honest, it needs to be real. When I decide that, yo, I'm about to do this, I don't know how long it's going to take, I don't know who and how, but I've decided that this is who I am. This is what I want to do. Nobody in the world can shake that. Nobody. You know, my dad always said to me, you know, if you decide in your mind, the world is going to tell you, you can't. But if you decide and you stick to it, it doesn't matter how long, you will become that thing you envision. So the biggest lesson for me in 2021 was I decide. And I decided I want to do this, you know, and the opportunities presented themselves, and we're blessed.
That's amazing, Kyeezi. And what a strong, powerful, motivational way for us to close off this IG Live today here with this I decide mantra. Like, if you put your mind to something and you work hard and you've got great people around you supporting you to do that, matching your energy, challenging you to move forward, then absolutely anything is possible. And that's just so amazing, bro. Just thank you. Any final words, final thoughts before we hop off NIKKI BANZ Live tonight?
Yo, man. NIKKI BANZ, keep doing your thing, bro. Like, you know, like, peeps may not see it. I get it. I see it. I caught it. You feel me? I feel like Rock Nations, and I have a good knack for finding these things. I feel like Rock Nations might hit you up. I feel like somewhere, somehow, an opportunity is gonna present itself, but you just need to continue to stay ready. Thank you for you know, giving me a moment on your platform, and you know, I will do my bit from where I can. But yeah, man, my final thought is thank you for, you know, linking with me. I'm a loner, dude. I'm always by myself, you know. Like, I never get to do this. I never talk. You know, I'm always presenting, or I'm always, you know, so I never talk. So I feel like I've let out something that I've been holding in for some time. And thank you for giving me the opportunity to do so. I really appreciate it.
Oh, 100%. Kyeezi, it is truly my pleasure to have you here on NIKKI BANZ Live tonight. I see great things in your future. That global vision, that is definitely coming true. And
Yo, we go!
We are all here to support you and shine with you, homie. So just keep shining and keep inspiring all of us. This has been so great. And I can't wait to collaborate with you on something one day very soon.
You know this.
All right. Have a beautiful rest of your night. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to NIKKI BANZ Live. We'll catch you next Tuesday. Don't forget to follow at Kyeezi, at They Call Me Banz. We'll be back every Tuesday. Thank you, Kyeezi. Have a beautiful evening.
Peace, everybody.